cover through the fog and fill the air. Those ominous lines from Shakespeare's Macbeth describe the situation all of us are in with every breath we take and every move we make in our polluted cities. Well, we drink about 2 to 4 liters of water a day. We have 4 meals a day, but we breathe every moment, right? Consuming some 10,000 liters of air every day. So while we are talking about clean and safe drinking water, while we are talking about healthy food, how about the air we breathe? So as we start this special series, we thought we'd focus on what we're breathing, what it's doing to our health, and why we should care about it. We begin with the most polluted city in the world, Delhi. As the sun rises over the capital, so does the dust. As the day progresses, pollution levels only increase to alarming levels. Levels that have pushed Delhi to being the most polluted city in the world. To cut a long story short, here's how we got there. Lack of an efficient public transport system meant the middle class began using what was considered the luxury vehicle in the 90s, the car. Today, 1,400 cars get added to Delhi's roads every day. Then they are the ones that run on diesel, producing carcinogenic fumes. Apart from diesel cars, some 40,000 diesel trucks pass through Delhi every night. There's construction, plenty of it, in Delhi and the National Capital Region. And then there are factories, burning of garbage and dust. A recent study says a drive through Delhi's roads is the same as smoking 40 cigarettes a day. So from outdoor sports, the Guptas have taken to indoor games. 9-year-old Arya and 7-year-old Agastya are severely asthmatic, a breathing problem they developed after the family moved to Delhi a few years ago from the United States.
Even when I play outside and I run a lot, it's hard for me to breathe. I start coughing, I have a sip of water, I come inside and I feel much better. In my school, in fact, there are many people who can't breathe. They have to go to the nurse ma'am's room and yeah, they have to lay down, they have to, and then they get sent back home.
The Guptas are not exceptions. According to a study by the Chittaranjan National Cancer Institute, Kolkata, an autonomous body under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, children of Delhi have far more respiratory problems than children from smaller cities. A study that raises a red flag that children in Delhi are likely to grow up with reduced lung function, with severe respiratory diseases and maybe worse. Around 11,500 school children between the age group 4 to 17 years from 36 schools across Delhi were studied over a 3-year period. Their health was compared to children from schools in rural West Bengal and Uttarakhand. The result? Nearly half the school children of Delhi, that's nearly 8 lakh, showed reduced lung function, which means their lungs do not hold the volume of air they should. And Delhi's children are twice more prone to wheezing, breathlessness, sinusitis, chest pain and sleep disorders. The landmark study released in 2012 showed that children from poor backgrounds suffered more.
A lot of people expected that because there is indirect data which suggests that children living in cities where pollution levels are high have poorer lung function. But to have it properly documented is something which is nice because it really helps to increase awareness among, let's say, people and policymakers as to the seriousness and the magnitude of the problem.
Respirable suspended particulate matter or RSPM contains very, very tiny solid and liquid particles that cannot be filtered. These particles enter the lungs and the bloodstream and begin to create havoc. The PM 2.5 levels in Delhi are somewhere above 300 micrograms per cubic meter, almost 15 times more than what the World Health Organization or WHO considers safe, and 2 times of the measure in Beijing. To understand how tiny these particles are, here's a comparison. A strand of hair is some 50 to 70 microns thick. The particulate matter we are talking about is between 10 to 2.5 micrograms. Nearly 1 lakh premature deaths taking place every year in India are linked to air pollution, making it the second leading cause of death after heart disease. And India has the world's highest death rate for chronic respiratory diseases and more deaths from asthma than any other nation. But the study on Delhi's children didn't quite surface, make headlines or grab attention of authorities until now. That is, until President Obama's visit to India in January.
The government refused to take ownership over the study, and it was we who were putting the study out and getting journalists to write about it. And I think this winter, because the pollution was literally in our faces, we've recognized this danger.
Much before the president came visiting, the World Health Organization said Delhi had the worst levels of air pollution in the world. The 2014 report of the ambient air pollution showed air pollution levels after monitoring 1,600 cities in 91 countries. Delhi beat Beijing to take the top spot. The study also shows that 13 of the 20 most polluted cities in the world are in India. This made it to the headlines, but led to no action. Delhi was under President's rule between February 2014 to March this year. Even with an election due, no political party said it would clean up Delhi's air.
CSC kept warning governments every winter, listen, next winter will be tougher, next winter will be worse. But by then, everybody had already relaxed. Pollution was not on the agenda.
For the Guptas, the move from the United States to India seems like a life less lived. For a family that loves outdoors, now stays indoors mostly, with a few quick fixes like air purifiers and masks thrown in.
And this is what
we need to wake up and do something about it, and I think protecting the kids at the outset needs to be a priority while we figure out the rest of it, whether what we're doing with diesel and what we're doing with trash burning and what we're doing with picking up the dust or lowering the dust, or construction laws to make sure that this construction waste doesn't fly around. I mean, there are n number of things that need to be figured out, but the first order of the day is accepting that there's a problem and protecting the kids.